Welcome back. We hope you like our Oregon Trail content. We've been working really hard on that joke, and we really believe in that meme, and we will ride it into the ground. I actually wrote about 10 of them, and I'm super zoomed in again, Cape. Can we zoom out a little? But anyway, if
Rangers.
you've made it this far, you are now in the section of this show that we like to call the deep dive, and it is when we dive deep into a nice topic and get off topic, and then get back on topic, and then eventually wind up at our top zen. So, anyway, this week we're talking about the mass multiplayer migration and what that means. This might come as a shock to many of our viewers, but I'm actually old. I've been on this rock for 3 rotations now, and in all my years, one thing has always remained a constant, and that is my love for absolutely wrecking people at video games. I won my first Halo 2 tournament when I was 14 and was sponsored by 15, but that's not when my love for Thraxan folks began. It was much earlier than that. I probably tasted my first victory in Duck Hunt while watching my cousin's grasp as my superior hand-eye coordination was on full display at Thanksgiving dinner. Multiplayer has come a long way, and a long way from having a dog lap at you as you miss 8-bit ducks in a room surrounded by people who have no idea what absolute legend they are bearing witness to being born in front of them. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the evolution of multiplayer and what that means to us. And so, as you know, I'm a pretty competitive guy. And so this is a topic dear to my heart, and I've always loved multiplayer games. And so, Kev, when you hear the word multiplayer, what is the first thing that comes to mind for you?
Well, it's probably a game that I'm going to buy, but it's 2 things actually. It's GoldenEye and screen cheating. But seriously, and more recently,
Screen cheating, dude. Oh my God.
I know, God, man, those days. Fuck. Anyways, I used that a lot. It was me. I was a screen cheater. I digress. But seriously, more recently, it's more of a competitive outlet for myself, as well as a sense of community. There's this sense that games are antisocial, or gamers are antisocial or awkward, and we are. But nowadays, gamers are actually actively making and looking for connections via the games they love to play. For example, Xbox has clubs or official games for players to link up in. Yeah. Have you guys ever used any of these? Have you guys checked out Xbox clubs or Reddit or anything like that to sort of team up with people that you want to play a game with?
Well, as a Sony user, I'm not on the Xbox Club, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry. Touchy subjects.
No, yeah, I see that the social aspects, definitely like the Reddit communities and part of that atmosphere. What about you, Jake?
Yeah, no, I've definitely, especially whenever I was playing Destiny more multiplayer, like or more online or whatever, I would definitely use different websites, Reddit groups, anything that I could find. Same with Grand Theft Auto Online, right? Like one of the easiest ways, or that's one of the best things about how online play has kind of evolved with the internet is,
Right.
now even though they're kind of like forcing us to play more online, we kind of live more online, so we can
Yeah.
talk to people more online. We already have friends who are online, and there's great things like Discord, Twitch here, all those things that can kind of keep us connected to one another, especially whenever you're looking for somebody to thrax in a new video game, right?
Right. Well, shit, dude. Like, we'll be like, even if we're not playing the same game, we'll just jump on an Xbox party chat, and there could be like 5 people playing 2 different games. Like it's just that sort of, even if you're playing a single player game, shit. Even I remember like like a game like Mass Effect or some sort of like long, arduous single player campaign. We would just jump in a party and kind of live the experience together as we're playing the game.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
no, that's a no, that definitely that's a pretty cool way. Oh, sorry, what are you saying,
I
Bronwyn?
would say I want to party with you guys on Xbox. That sounds like fun. Do
Oh,
they
I'm
have
sorry.
PlayStation?
You can't party on Sony.
Can you? I'm asking.
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I believe so, but I do know exactly, like Xbox definitely had, like, they kind of like etched out and said, hey, like you can use this party chat. Like you can even join it through the mobile app if you want to, and just jump
Yeah,
into a chat and talk with your friends while they're playing a video game, right? And so
yeah,
it's pretty awesome how like we would do it a lot whenever like I would be playing Madden, but then my boy would be playing like Fortnite or something, and I really wouldn't want to jump in there,
yeah, yeah. No, and that's the thing too. I think that's one thing that's kind of gravitated me towards Xbox every time there's a console release is that sense of community.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And speaking of a sense of community, I mean, the best kind of community is the one that's literally right on the couch next to you. Ron, when folks believe we've seen the death of couch co-op, but it's something that we all remember pretty dearly. Do you believe the couch co-op is dead?
I think that people will go back to it for nostalgia's sake, but I think currently there's definitely way more of that online community and aspect of not so much playing a game next to somebody, but playing a game with somebody in that online space, that platform there. I don't know, Kev, what do you
Yep.
think? Think the couch co-op is dead?
Yeah, I think it is in a way, just because I think people like having, their space and a bigger screen.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
always treasure it, like you said, for nostalgia
Uh-huh.
purposes. But it's just not practical anymore. And games like Cuphead, and there was another one that came out. It's like these two brothers. I think they were in prison, and they were like that was exclusively couch co-op. Those
Mhm.
are kind of in that right direction, but I believe those days are. I believe the days of staying up to 3 a.m. going through an entire Halo 3 campaign on Legendary are pretty much gone.
And I think what shows that it's dead too are the games that used to be couch co-op that now are online, like things like Smash
Yeah,
Bros. Or like Mario Party or stuff like that. Like those
right.
are now available as online play and like way more being used that way. Like maybe you're pulling out the like two little remotes on the Switch so you can like play like on the same
Yeah.
console as somebody, but for the most part you're like using those the resources of like Nintendo's online community and things like that.
And on that subject, like me and my friends were actually like we were discussing this earlier today. Like we would play, we played the old WWE games, and we would like make
Yeah.
various characters and have storylines and shit. And we were all there in my friend's basement going through this shit, and it's not the same online. You can't get that experience online, so I do miss that. Like you can play online, but it's not the same. You're not next to the person as you're destroying them, watching them crumble in defeat,
Uh,
the trash
I think
talking, the energy and the vibes.
Oh yeah, dude, a in-person Smash tournament, and you know this because we've done it at work,
We
are
did,
way
yeah.
better
Yeah,
than even an online Smash tournament
it's not
because
the
like there's
same.
something about being able to get in your opponent's head with them sitting right there next to you. Like I
Yeah,
think couch co-op will. It's I think couch you got. I look at it in a different way, right? And I
yeah.
don't mean to be the SNL character of I see things a little differently, but like it's just one of those where I don't think couch co-op's dead. I just think it's definitely like it's evolved into something different, which is
Yeah,
that it's essentially just for nostalgia and it serves a specific purpose, which is like gaming with the
yeah,
homies on the fly.
yeah,
Like I had a few friends in for Friendsgiving, and
yeah.
we played a Mario Party game on the GameCube,
Nice,
Mario Party
nice.
3 or 4, I believe. But like anyway,
Yeah,
you can't like that shit was so much fun. Just sitting there
right.
talking smack, playing some mini games with each other. I guarantee it would have been fun online, but it would have never been the same.
Yeah,
And so I don't think couch co-op will ever be completely dead, but I
yeah.
definitely don't think new games are being developed with the idea of couch co-op in mind. Right? It's kind of added on as an additional like this is nice to have.
That's true. That's true. And even just I think it's just the accessibility of everything too. Like I remember shit, we not even at co-op, like we would watch a friend play like a single player campaign of a video game and just like we like no one else really touched the controller or whatever. We're just watching this one person go through like an entire game and we're just there hanging out, enjoying the experience.
No, 100%. And I mean, I mean, it kind of segues into the next one, which is, I know, Kev, you are a first person shooter guy, and
Yeah.
we all love to watch a good first person shooter. That's why, they are not necessarily even first person shooters, but shooters in general, the battle royale kind of like whole thing that's really taken over multiplayer game in these last couple of years.
Yeah.
Do you believe that this has helped speed up the death of the couch co op because it's kind of pushed us into more of online multiplayer play?
Yeah, well, I think just the rise in online play in general kind of killed couch co-op and multiplayer, but I do believe that FPS and Battle Royale diminished co-op games a little bit. There just aren't as many of these titles anymore. We saw a resurgence of them like 5 to 10 years ago, but that development train has seemed to slow down, with exceptions to games like Monster Hunter, Destiny, and various indie titles. Um, co-op not even just couch co-op games, but co-op games in general. I think they're kind of going by the wayside. I think it has something to do with Twitch streams and more and also esports definitely playing a big part in this.
Yeah.
But I think I think I don't know. Maybe I'm optimistic they'll come back because I love a good co-op game. Like games like Left 4 Dead or Evolve, which was kind of underwhelming, which had potential,
Yeah,
but again, yeah,
the potential was there. The potential
yeah,
was there.
yeah.
Sea of
I
Thieves,
hope
even,
not.
you know.
Right, Sea of Thieves. So no, I wouldn't say entirely that co-op is dead. I think like you, I think it's just evolved into something else. I think FPS and Battle Royale, I think these games for sure are in the spotlight, but I don't think it's gonna kill co-op, couch co-op. That's like you said, that's a different, especially as we do this during a pandemic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
can't really
I
be
think
on random people's couches anymore.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. I think those days are gone. The co-op, the couch co-op, the LAN parties. Like
Yeah,
they're just it doesn't make sense anymore, really.
no, not at all. But
Yeah.
Braun, what do you think about the battle royale craze that's going on right now with multiplayer? Do you believe it's here to stay?
Um, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It could like I think it could just be a fad. I think that maybe something new will take its place later. I mean, if you thought about like couch co-ops back in the day, like, and you were thinking about it in that moment, you would say, "Oh yeah, these aren't going anywhere." I don't think that you can really foresee too much what's going to happen next, but I don't know. I don't think
Uh,
it's going to be the end all be all thing. There's also like the virtual reality. I feel like that's like a whole new atmosphere too. I mean, I was playing like a online VR game the other day. This like it was like and I forget the name of the game. It was this like zero gravity frisbee golf like competitive tournament that you're playing, and you're like talking to people in the headsets. And before you
Yeah.
even like start to go into the arena, like you're hanging out in this like cool little like bar looking zone, like a spaceship, and people are just coming up and talking to you, and you like see their like whole like you can look down and see like your body as this avatar, so that like that can be like the new thing, that could be the thing that's happening next, and it's gonna like spin this on its head. I don't
Yeah.
know.
no, I mean, VR is going to be it's really interesting that VR did not take off more during the time of COVID, honestly.
Mhm.
Like, I
Yeah.
kind of assumed that during this time, whenever we had to be all disconnected, we would have wanted to be more connected through some sort of virtual reality. But
That's
it's been
true.
interesting that more people have actually just gravitated towards things like Among Us or just like
Yeah.
other games, in a way
Yeah.
that I think
Yeah.
were just more accessible. It shows just, I guess, really how unaccessible VR gaming is still to the mass public, even in 2020, right? Which is,
Yeah.
kind of crazy to think that we've had it around for this long. But
That's
Yeah.
I
true.
think it'll be definitely something huge for the future of us staying connected because VR makes you feel like you're in person, right?
Yeah.
Even when you're
Yeah,
not.
I think
I
I
like
think
the
I
headset. It's just it feels clunky. It's
yes.
still like they still
Yes.
haven't
Yes.
perfected it. Like I could only
Yeah.
play for maybe 20
Yeah.
minutes, which could
Yeah.
maybe that's a good thing. But I like after 20 minutes, I'm like, okay, there's this thing on my head. There's like a
Do you
little
start getting like a headache too?
yeah, you
Like,
can see
Right.
like a gap on the nose where like I can see light from the real reality. So I'm literally like taping my headset. So I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
off that space so I don't see it. And
It's
it's not perfect. And I think people maybe are just waiting for something with a little bit more ease that they like would be willing to spend that kind of money on because
yeah.
for what it is now, maybe it's not so much worth it to people to like to feel that. But I don't know, it's still fun, it's still cool. I wish there were more multiplayer options on the VR because I like a lot of the dancing games, sort of like Dance Dance Revolution, and I feel like that would be really fun and like a multiplayer kind of competitive atmosphere where
Oh
you're
yeah.
like dance offing people. Like let's get that. Like I'm down for that.
Yeah,
No,
no, I, I,
100%.
I think it's weird, right? Because we're talking about like VR and then the whole motion sensor stuff. I think what happened is that stuff's not really practical in the space of just gaming. Like when I play games, I play to
Yeah.
relax and
Mhm.
decompress. I don't want to like go from a stressful situation at work and then put myself in another stressful situation with like, like a video game where I'm like actually seeing and looking around and the endorphins are going. I'm like, I just
yeah.
I think that's the problem with it because I remember I own an Oculus, but it's just collecting dust now, and mostly because one I do get motion sickness, and two, um, it's
Same.
it's it's like it's not as easy as me just turning on my television and playing a
Oh
game
yeah.
or even just like TV. Like what is cool? So for instance, I thought they were going to do this, and maybe they did. You can use your VR headset to like watch live sports games. So they have like cameras set up designated to broadcast to VR headsets headset. So you'll be there and then you'll look and you'll see other people with like avatars who are also watching the game. I'm surprised they haven't done more of that, but I just think it's not accessible enough, and they still haven't worked out the kinks where it feels smooth and organic enough either.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really been interesting to see Oculus just really not like dominate this year,
Yeah.
given everything, considering. But
Right.
back to our earlier Battle Royale thing, what do you think, Kev? Do you think we're going to still be playing Fortnite for fortnights to come?
So I'm torn on this. Had you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said no. But now with the launch of the new season and various synergetic cameo appearance contents, i.e. Kratos, Marvel, Mando, and more, I didn't even think Joker was in there. I don't know. They have everybody. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
they
we're
had
in there.
Batman, Joker. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
I
whole
don't think it's
shebang.
going anywhere anytime soon, but nothing lasts forever. But more broadly, if you ask me if the battle royale genre is going anywhere, I'd confidently say no. It's a new game genre, like the dawn of FPSs back in the 2000s. We may see more oversaturation with the game, as is typical with any game, as is typical with the game industry. But the household names will hang around, like Fortnite and Apex and Warzone. But I think and yeah. So to answer your question, yes, I think Fortnite we'll still be playing Fortnite and every other battle royale, some iteration of a battle royale for many Fortnites to come.
Oh yeah, and there's even been rumors of the newest Halo having a battle royale,
Mm,
kind of version in it. And so
yeah.
like I don't think battle royales are going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
No. No.
Uh,
It's a fun game mode. It's a fun genre. It works.
yeah, no, it does.
Yeah.
It's essentially the evolution of big team battle. Shout out
Yeah.
Halo, which we'll get
Right.
into later.
Right. Yeah.
uh, but we had a good debate this morning on the different genres of multiplayer. Kevin, do you believe that there's a difference between what some would call a party game and what some would call a multiplayer game?
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep this very succinct and short. Yes and no. Every party game is a multiplayer game, but not every multiplayer game is a party game. It's just another type of multiplayer, like co-op or competitive.
Interesting. So that's your
Yeah.
definition. Bronwyn, what do you think about it?
Oh, sorry. I got distracted by chat for a second. It's getting really funny in there,
Yeah, it's
guys.
club. I know. I'm like,
It's
man.
What was the question again?
What do you think is the difference between a multiplayer game and a party game? It's kind of like the conversation we had whenever we were building out the top Zen for later this evening. And so it's kind of the hot topic for the evening is like, is there a difference between a multiplayer game and a party game?
Yes, but I don't know what it is. You have to see it. What is that thing? Like, you'll know it when you see it.
That's Hugo Black's judgment on pornography,
Yeah.
I believe is what it was. It was like the conservative, Supreme Court judge. He was like, I don't know what it is, but I'll know it when I see it. And so like, but yeah, no, I think the big thing that we had is like the back and forth, especially, and Kev, I kind of like agree with you, is that every party game is a multiplayer game because for it to be a party, it has to have multiple players.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
but not every multiplayer game is a party game, obviously, because
It's a
tons of
subgenre of the genre.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like that's one of the things that we'll definitely get into in a deeper dive one day eventually, though, right? And so
The deepest dives.
the deepest dives,
Yeah.
a deeper dives.
Yes.
Oh,
A dive so deep, you need to grab your friends and venture it together.
There you go.
now it sounds sexual. Anyway,